This financial dashboard, it looks like something built by a development team, but I built it using AI in a day, and you can do this too. This is just fascinating. This is all about the world of vibe coding. So let me show you the finished dashboard first, and then I'll just walk you through the process that I did to build it. So if I let's just look at the dashboard first. So we've got some financial data here. We've got some targets and revenue, some graphs and charts. And so the way that what I built here, I had in mind building a dashboard that an accounting firm owner might want to use to show the financial data for clients. And so we can do all sorts of things we can build out different dashboards. We've got various settings. We could switch to dark mode. We could change the numbers to be more precise numbers. We could, if we want to, we could hide some of the elements. We can have a preview, so we can show it in a client-facing view where we've got some that we might choose to hide. I'm going to go back to here. We can also edit and choose to have different sets of data that we show on the dashboard. And we can save different dashboards for clients, so we can have a range of different dashboards. So if I go right back, I'm going to go to one of my test clients I've set up. If you're using this, then one of the things we can do is we can upload data. Let me just do that. We hit the upload button, and what we're going to do is upload the P&L account, and this will upload from an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to call this financial year 2026 B, and then we will search for our profit and loss account, which might be something that you might download from, for example, a QBO file, etc. We hit next, and it's going to parse. What that's going to do, parsing is going to be extracting from the Excel spreadsheet the data and putting it into the database behind. And it does that because of security issues that I've built into the app. And it's then going to show all of the mapping, which we can then override if we want to, but I'm going to assume we're happy with that. Hit the next button, and that's the data uploaded. And so once we've then done that, we can then build for our client a dashboard where, once I've given it a name and chosen the period, so we'll go with 2026, and we'll have 2025 as our comparative, and we'll choose a goal. And now we can choose which KPIs we want to show on this dashboard. We can choose which charts and graphs. If we want to do expenses, we can specify which charts, which expenses we map. And once we've done that, we can save the dashboard, and then we can review our dashboard. And once we've done that, once we've reviewed it, we can edit it, change it, take things off, and so on. That's the dashboard I built. And I think you'll agree, that's the sort of thing you might expect from a software company. But you and I can build things exactly like that. We can build those sorts of things in a short amount of time when we understand vibe coding. So let me walk you through the process of doing it. And the starting point is we need to have an idea. And I'm going to give you some ideas at the end of this video as to some things that you might want to try building. We need to have an idea. What do we want to build for our business? What sort of app might we want to build? Once we've got that idea, then step one in the process is we want to do some planning. Planning will save us time later on. So what is the outcome that you want from this app? What do you want it to do? Now, I always do my planning inside ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT, but Gemini, Claude will be just as good, whichever your preferred large language model is. We just do that to do planning. And so I had a conversation with ChatGPT to say, hey, I'm looking to build a dashboard app. What are I want to use vibe coding. What are some of the things I might want to think about? And of course, some of the key things are, what are the metrics? What are the things that we want to put onto the dashboard? Do we want to have ratios, for example? So I asked it to come up with some ideas for what would be on the dashboard. And then I asked it about how do we get the data in there in the first place? And I decided for this, it would be based on an Excel spreadsheet. We could use API keys and link it to QBO or Xero or Sage. I want to keep it simple for now with Excel spreadsheets. And so the next thing that I wanted to do was figure out the data mapping. In other words, so the app can read the spreadsheet and then map the numbers to the correct place. For example, fixed assets, for example, cost of goods sold, because it's going to use those metrics. And this is the reason for doing that is partly security, because once it's done the mapping, it doesn't need to save the Excel spreadsheet with all that data. It can delete that. And also because the metrics are then inside a database, then you can do all sorts of calculations, you can do ratio analysis, etc. So that was all my first step. It was the planning with ChatGPT. I asked it to tell me what would be the data mapping, what would be the metrics and things I want to put onto the dashboard. Having done the planning, and I like to use Canvas in ChatGPT because each of those we can export as a document. I then went into vibe coding. Okay, so what on earth is vibe coding? Well, let me just give you a definition of that. Essentially, vibe coding is building software by describing, and I'm showing, let me show you this. Vibe coding is building software by describing what you want in plain English and guiding an AI step by step instead of writing all the code yourself. So what it means is that you do not have to be a coder. I'm an accountant. I don't know a single line of code. I understand numbers, but not code. You don't need to. With vibe coding, it's just having a natural language conversation, plain English conversation, just like you would with any large language model like ChatGPT, like Claude, like Gemini. And there are many, many different vibe coding apps available now. That it's become really common over the last 6 to 12 months. There are things like Replit is a big one. Then there's a number of ones that coders tend to use, like Windsurf, Cursor. The one that I like best is Lovable. Why Lovable? Because firstly, in terms of also capitalization, it's the biggest company in vibe coding, and so and it's that for a reason. It's good at what it does. But also the nice thing about Lovable is it's also for a non-coder like me, it's got a much more user-friendly interface. So Lovable is basically, it's an AI-powered platform that lets anybody, you, me, build full-stack web applications using natural language prompts. No coding skills are required, which is great because I don't have those. So we can build. What can we build? Well, really, the limit's your imagination. You can build anything. Anything that you want, you can build as an app. So let me just go into Lovable briefly, just to build on this. So what I did was I created those planning documents. So I had the data mapping, I had the ratios, the measures, and so on. And I did that in ChatGPT. I did it in Canvas. I exported those as files. And what I did is I went into Lovable and I imported those documents, which you can perhaps see in the top left. So if you've never seen Lovable, on the left-hand side is the chat, just like a chat in ChatGPT. And on the right-hand side is what it creates. And you get to see it build bit by bit. I find this so exciting and addictive. So I then just said, I want to create an app that helps an accounting firm generate professional client-ready financial dashboards from uploaded spreadsheet data to improve client conversations and financial insight. It should do the following. It wants to support two roles, an admin and a team. It wants to allow the admin person to manage users and AI report prompts. And I can click show more. It's a long prompt, this, but guess what? I didn't write this prompt. Having described what I want in ChatGPT, I asked it to write a suitable initial prompt for Lovable. And so having done that, I ran that prompt, and what it will do when you run a prompt in Lovable like that, it will build the shell. It won't be a finished product, it will build the shell. And so what you will see typically is you'll start to see some pages. As it's done that within a matter of minutes, you will probably see, it'll probably have all the various pages with its initial thoughts on how they would look. And then once you've done the core shell, you might want to then change a few things. You might say, actually, I don't like those colors. Can you use my brand colors? Or you might want to You might want to change a few things around in terms of the look. Once you've then done that, the next step is to build a back-end database. So we need to have a database because that's where we are going to store things like the data, the clients, the users, and so on. And for a non-code like me, that sounds really scary. I have no idea how to build a back-end database. The good news is it doesn't matter because that's all built into Lovable. In fact, in October 2025, they introduced Lovable Cloud, which basically means it automates the whole process for us and builds in some amazing security. And all you have to do is click an approve button and it will then build the backend database. And that's awesome. And so then what we do is we just refine our app through prompting. We just have a conversation. And if there's something we don't like, we ask it to change it. We'll also need to start building the features. So initially it builds a shell. You'll have the pages and it may have on the dashboards, for example, some summary data, some sample data, so you can see what it would look like. And then you would just go through it step by step, and anything that's not currently working, you will say something like, hey, Lovable, we now need to sort out the add and edit and delete clients button. Can you do that now? And it'll go away and whir for a bit, and then before you know it, suddenly a little delete button appears, and etc., etc. Now, if you find this interesting, and please do click the like button, I would really appreciate that. And if you want to learn how to use AI properly, then I have a completely free community. It's called the AI community, and I will put the link to it below. It's a great community to ask questions of the rest of the group, questions of me, and I regularly post in there. I put videos, there's some training courses and so on. It's completely free. Link is below. Now, if you want to go a step further and you do want to build apps like this, and in a second I will give you some other ideas of the sorts of things that you could build. If you want to build apps, then if you go and join my AI Academy, again, the link is below. When you join the AI Academy, I have full courses on how to do vibe coding. One of those is the main course, is I walk you through how to build that dashboard app. So if you want a financial dashboard for your own business or that you can use to show to clients and you want to build it yourself, I walk you through it every step of the way inside the AI Academy. So what could you build? It may well be at this point in time, if you've never explored vibe coding or seen Lovable, perhaps your mind's starting to whir a little bit about the possibilities. And there are so many possibilities. As I said, the limitation is your imagination. So yes, you could build a financial dashboard app. You could build a debt repayment app. So perhaps you want to help your clients, if you're an accounting firm or consultant, perhaps you want to help your clients get out of debt. And so you could build a debt repayment app. Perhaps you want to do an app for yourself or for clients to help them plan their retirement. How much of a savings pot do they need to meet their future needs and so on. We could build an app that does that. We could build a cash flow predictor. We could build, I built in just a matter of a couple of hours, a meeting summarizer app that's on my phone where whenever I have a meeting, I put the transcription in there and it will summarize the meeting notes and give me an action plan. One of my members of the AI Academy, he took that very idea and he took it to another level where he built in his consulting model, and so from the meeting summarizer it would build out all sorts of consulting steps and things for the client and build a report. On that note, you could build a goal builder and something that will help the client build out their goals and then come up with strategic action plans. There's actually so many ideas, and this just gets so addictive. I've been playing with vibe coding for 2 months now, and in 2 months I think I've built now 12 different apps. It's that fun to do, and yeah, there really is so many possibilities with this. And in fact, one of the things that you may have heard is that one of the predictions is that the SaaS industry is going to be in trouble because people can build their own apps. Why pay for apps? So if you think about your current tech stack in your business and the amount of money you pay every single month for tech, you could save some of that by building the things that you want with the features that you need. Anyway, let me know in below. Tell me, what sort of things would you like to build? What is this inspiring you to do? What sort of apps could you build? What things are going through your mind right now? Let me know below in the comments. I would love to know. And if you want to go further with this, I look forward to welcoming you inside the AI Academy. Thank you so much for your time watching this video. I will hopefully see you on another one soon. Bye for now.